Oh yeah, Savoir, we love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In this bulletin, New Zealand PM accorded traditional welcome. Former FHL CEO's plea deferred. And timely assistance to boost agriculture sector.
From the studios of FBC Suva,
a traditional welcome ceremony was accorded to the New Zealand Prime Minister this morning. JACINDA Ardern was welcomed with the Suva on behalf of the Vanua, with a hope that her visit will be fruitful for both Fiji and New Zealand. She was also accorded a traditional kava ceremony. Prime Minister Ardern commended the performance displayed during the traditional kava ceremony. After accepting a bowl of kava, Ardern commended Fijians for the hospitality she has been accorded since her arrival yesterday.
It's a true honour to be welcomed here in a traditional way. You can see the strength of the hospitality of the Fijian people from the moment we received the welcome to the fact that you present mats to those who have traditionally travelled by sea and maybe wet and cold, that you provide food in case those travellers are hungry, that you provide kava and water for those travellers who may be thirsty. It speaks to the importance of hospitality to you, and we feel the warmth of your hospitality, and you share that value as well.
New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the National War Memorial this morning after her courtesy call to President Major General retired Chochi Conrote. Along with the President, Ardern helped in the planting of a tree outside the President's residence. After her courtesy call, she paid her respects to fallen soldiers in the presence of more than 100 officers from the Fiji military forces and police. She also took time out to meet a number of retired ex-servicemen with the wreath-laying ceremony. The Suva Magistrates Court today deferred the plea of the former chief executive of Fijian Holdings Limited, who faces indecent assault charges. NOUZAB Farid appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court this morning, charged with 3 counts of indecent assault. Farid's lawyer told the court that he will be making a representation to the Director of Public Prosecution's Office on the charges and asked if the plea can be deferred for 6 weeks. The matter has been adjourned to April 15th. 7 handheld tractors worth $18,000 were donated by the Indonesian government to the Agriculture Ministry in Cornivia Station yesterday. Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says the timely assistance testifies the long-standing relationship between the two countries. He says the machines will boost agricultural productivity.
The assistance definitely has contributed to the advancement of agriculture of our country. And as you can see, that Fiji's agriculture sector has deepened, has widened, and has grown. And it's very important that for us to have a robust and resilient agriculture sector, we need to ensure that our agriculture sector is quite a bit broad. Also, we have the ability to bounce back from any particular stock in a very short period of time.
The Fisheries Ministry is urging farmers to move to commercial aquaculture. Minister Semi Koroilavisau says many farmers are utilizing aquaculture for food security, but not for commercial use. Koroilavisau says there is a growing demand for aquaculture produce both in the local and overseas markets. He adds that it's crucial to make good use of this opportunity.
Mix of seawater and fresh water becomes brackish water. And that's basically where we can develop a lot of aquaculture. Basically, it has to come from an incentive that is created, that our farmers know that it is a good commercial business to create aquaculture, especially for shrimp and other marine fish.
More than 2,000 people in Lambasa will now benefit from the newly constructed service reservoir in Nasalasala. This follows the reservoir's commissioning by the Water Authority of Fiji yesterday. For decades, residents of Nakama, Wunimoli, Rualango, Nanduna, Nangata, Wunikaukaua, and Watulobona villages received treatment water from Nasalasala Creek. WAF says it took their ground teams about 8 weeks to complete construction of the reservoir and are now able to meet the demands of the increasing population. The new water system also caters for 3 schools, a few shops and other farmers in the area. Motorists continue to raise concerns about the deteriorating condition of roads in the Central Division. The Fiji Roads Authority says it's difficult to manage potholes in this current climate. Chief Executive Jonathan Moore says more roads have been repaired, but due to the continuous rain, potholes that were sealed had washed away. He says they are trying to move away from these repairs, but instead have had to do rehabilitation work for entire sections of roads in the Central Division. The World Health Organization says while the COVID-19 outbreak should not be described as a pandemic because it is not spreading uncontrollably, it has warned countries to do everything to contain the disease. The WHO says they're in a phase of preparedness for a potential pandemic. The WHO says also, although it is possible to contain the disease, if some countries fail and do not do everything needed, then it can still go out of control with dramatic consequences for global health and the economy. It says while a sudden increase in new cases outside China is concerning, what is most needed is containment, not scaremongering.
I think it's important to say that all countries, and this is now a problem that is affecting many countries in the world, all countries must do everything to be prepared, and all countries must do everything, respecting naturally the principle of non-discrimination, without stigmatization, respecting human rights, but doing everything that they can to contain the disease.
China has so far reported a total of 77,362 cases of COVID-19, including 2,618 deaths. According to WHO, outside China, there are now 2,074 cases in 28 countries and 23 deaths. Coming up, DERENALAGI confident of captaincy role and more women participation needed in bowling. Stay with us. Fiji Airways National Sevens captain Ratumeli Dernalang is confident of his role this weekend. The Nawaka lad says with the help of senior players in the squad, he'll be able to carry out his duties in leading the team in his first Los Angeles Sevens tournament. He's positive the team will produce good results.
Well, first of all, for me, it will be like I said it before, it's a challenging role for me since but I thanks for some of my teammates like experienced players like Wasinadungu, Mothnadangi and Tuai are there to assist me and help me for this role that I've been chosen for.
Fiji national men's sevens player IKANIKODA has set his sights on being selected for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics Games in Japan. The policeman says there is still a lot of room for improvement before the global games. IKANIKODA made his debut for Fiji in the 2011-2012 HSBC Sevens series after an absence of 8 years from the Fiji national rugby sevens team due to a major leg injury.
To improve a lot of my restart. That's my minimum for now on. I need to improve my kickoffs.
There has been a significant decrease in the number of women taking part in bowling. This was highlighted by Suva Bowling Club Committee member PHILLIP LACEY. LACEY says the weather and nature of the sport have contributed to the decrease in the number of women participating.
Lady bowlers in not only this club but throughout Fiji has been reducing over the last few decades. as the lady bowlers age, the sport is a physical sport, and that playing bowls, you're walking up and down a green all day long. You're walking about 5 miles a day. It's quite hot in Fiji, as we know, and it can be really difficult for some ladies to stay the test of time and play the game.
2019 has been a huge year for the Fiji Rugby, with many achievements that will be recognized this weekend at the Fiji Rugby Annual Awards. There are 15 awards up for grabs, including Player of the Year, Team of the Year, and Sevens Player of the Year. FRU Chief Executive John O'Connor says it will be a night to recognize the hard-working staff and players under the union banner.
2019 has been a huge year for Fiji Rugby. We celebrated the win from the HSBC 7 Series. Jerry Tuai being received the best player of sevens, world player of sevens. We also had very competitive domestic competition.
Fine weather continues. Expect some occasional light showers this afternoon and overnight. Tomorrow will be much the same. That is your FBC News now. Remember to join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. With these stories and others, you can also tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. Stay safe. Good afternoon.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.